Hi again, class. This is my Module 3 presentation after peer review, turning in my final submission. Today I'll be presenting to you my educational and work experience. My first school experience, I went to Lessinger Elementary in Madison Heights from kindergarten to first grade. After that I moved to Macomb, where I still reside, and I went to Ojibwa Elementary. From second grade till fifth grade I was at Ojibwa, and in sixth grade I went to Iroquois Middle School. From fifth grade all the way until 10th grade I went to 6 different schools, believe it or not, and one of them was the hardest school to navigate, as my high school contained over 2,500 students. In 6th grade, like I said, I went to Iroquois. 5th grade I went to Ojibwa Elementary. That's 2 schools in 2 years. In 7th grade, I transferred to the old Ojibwa because due to boundary changing and zoning, I was forced to move schools. And in 8th grade, I went to what is known as the New Seneca, making it 4 for 4 on new schools. Like I said, I went to Dakota High School in Macomb, Michigan, and being so large, having over 2,500 students, the administration deemed it necessary to make a different 9th grade center so that students that were becoming high schoolers as 9th graders, freshmen, didn't have to go right into 2,500 students, as there's a lot of change when it comes to high school. You're being more independent, you no longer have teachers taking you around. You're now given those 6 minutes passing time in between class to do what you need to do, and no longer people looking over your back. So they felt it was necessary to separate the 9th grade freshmen from 10th through 12th graders. So as a freshman, I went to the 9th grade center, which is on campus. It's right across a little service road, and I made it 5 schools in 5 years. Ojibwa Elementary in 5th grade, Iroquois in 6th grade, Old Seneca in 7th grade, New Seneca in 8th grade, and Freshman Center in 9th grade. And in 10th grade I went to what is known as the Big House for Dakota High School, and that houses the other 1,800 students. And I graduated from there in the May of 2013, where I went to Northwood University. I did not choose Northwood as my first pick, as my dad went to Michigan University, the University of Michigan, and from my childhood has always been the place I wanted to go. I've been going to games at the Big House ever since I was 3 years old, and it's just the place I always wanted to go. It's very prestigious, tradition, everything about it is where I wanted to be. And I'll take you a little bit through that experience of the journey that made me choose going to Northwood. As I submitted my application, I knew I was a little bit below standard for getting into Michigan, so after I got the first letter back from the original decision for the early applicants that said I would be submitted to the regular application deadline, I started to become worrisome, as I knew I'm not the highest candidate. I really pushed myself, but I know I'm not at the level that other people were at. I was in a lot of AP classes, and I was looking around. There was them, and then there was me. And there's no one below me. I was putting myself in those higher classes to really challenge myself. And looking at that difference, they were above and beyond, and I was just above the average. They had that extra little bit to them. So I felt this may not work out. My first option may not be there. So that next week I submitted applications to Michigan State and Northwood University. Michigan State was just the next biggest school. A lot of people went there, so I know a lot of people. And it's just a good fallback plan, as it's a good education and people respect the school. Northwood was a little bit special. I loved how people knew your name when they met you for a second time, and there's just a lot of good energy. It's only a business school, so you're more likely to meet people that are going to affect your future than if you were to go to Michigan State, where there's doctors and lawyers, and they may not all be able to help you. But at Northwood, you're just meeting all business people, so everyone's working towards the same thing you are, and they have much better context for you. So after I got my final decision from the regular application deadline for Michigan, saying that I was put on the wait list that I never came off and ultimately basically denied, I chose the next day to go to Northwood University. And since then, I haven't looked back. I also am in a special program that I go for 3 years. I have to one overload course every semester, and in 3 years I'll graduate. In my 4th year, my senior year, will be in an accelerated MBA program. I'm very happy with that choice that I made because as a finance and accounting major, it's a great financial move because I'm saving lots of money and time, and the MBA is really going to help me with taking next steps in my career. And also, a big benefit of Northwood is you're on the ground floor really early, and I've had 4 finance and accounting classes where I know people at other schools that have not had a single one. And I believe that is the main reason that I'm currently an intern at Quicken Loans, a top 5 company to work for in America. And I really believe that their experience at Northwood is the reason that I'm in the position I am now today. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.